Hi everybody, it's me again. Um, Part 2 of my video about suicide souls. I wanted to touch base on hell and purgatory, and whether or not a soul that decides to kill themselves goes to hell or purgatory, or if their soul is saved. What that means to the person and their family, because, we all follow different paths in life. I grew up strict Roman Catholic for most of my life. I went to Catholic school up until 7th grade. Then I went to public school, and throughout my adult life with my ex, he was very strict about it, and so my beliefs were buried deep inside of me of how I really truly feel, and so I hid my abilities that I'm sharing now on this video from mostly everyone that I grew up with. So I've lost a lot of friends over the years, and there's bad seeds out there that do this and take advantage of people's grief, and I'm not one of them. And I'm a huge skeptic, even though I have this ability. And no, I'm not a psychic. I'm a medium, like I said in my previous video. So, let's touch base on hell and purgatory. Basically, when you die, your spirit / soul goes into another, let's call it for layman's terms, because I'll do another video with actual terms that you will understand, but I don't want to do a really, really long video on this, because if you have a specific question, that would be great, and you can comment below and I can answer it for you. But basically, I'm going to call it a realm, okay? Levels of a realm. When you die, there's levels of a realm. So, you believe in Catholicism, let's just say that, like I used to, and you die. They teach you throughout your schooling in church that you go to hell and you're banished there, whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not believe there is a hell. I have never seen it. Now, there are levels of where you go up into the universe, into the realm. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it source. Let's just call it source, because that's what I believe. So I do believe in God, but I also believe in the gods. So I'm a little bit different. I believe in old religion. What I mean by that is not religion, old ways. I believe in like the gods and the way that they honored, the moon god, the sun god. It's a long story, but whenever spirits have come through to me from the other side, their heaven is where they lived in their life. So if they followed a strict Christian lifestyle, then they go to their heaven, because it's their consciousness. So they're going where they dream that their heaven is. So for me, my heaven is going back to where my family, my spirit family, is with me. Unconditional love in a huge universe, and just being embraced by them again. And although I don't have my physical form, my human body, I'm still with them in spirit, and I feel that unconditional 100% love. And so when people kill themselves, it's their soul reaching out for that love. And so when we're born, the body takes a huge toll on our bodies as we go on. So like what happened, or I should say our souls. So when we're born, our body doesn't really quite take a burden yet, but as life goes on, as you get older as a child and then a teenager and then adult, it takes a toll on your human body and your soul. So your human body is so much different than your soul or your spirit, and it's a constant battle between the two of them. So I hope that explains a little bit about the suffering that people do. I am a huge spiritual person. I don't mean like spiritual, like crazy spiritual, but I mean like I believe in treating people the way you need to be treated. I believe that if Jesus came today and went into a church, they would turn him away if he looked the way that some of the bums do and some of the people who panhandle, because you're all, not everybody on this page, but I'm going to say most people, not all, are so ignorant and judgmental. You'll say, I'm not going to pay them $5 because look at that loser. He has a job, or he's using that money to do other things, and he's a crack addict, so you don't give money at all. But what if, out of all those people that stand there, there's someone one day, that 1 out of 100 people, it's Jesus, and he's testing you. if that's your belief in your religion. So it's a lot of things that wrap around my mind because of my communication with the other side. I see things differently. Spirits see things completely different. They are not hung up on who stole their rings, who, stole money, where they left things, where they're buried. You know how people are always like, oh, I have to go there and clean the flowers and make sure their grave looks great. Guess who that's for? That's for you. That is not for your loved one, because I'm going to tell you, son, if you're standing in the kitchen cooking dinner and you have a moment by yourself, talk to your father or your mother, because guess what? They are around you when you need it the most, not at that gravesite. Not saying that they're not there when you talk to them when you go there, but I'm saying that's a human thing, not a spirit thing. So I firmly believe and know for a fact that in my experiences that souls do go to their heaven and not to the flaming inferno of purgatory where Lucifer / Satan is. I'm sorry, that is a religion, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that's a fear-based thing, and I don't believe in that. I do not believe in that. I don't believe to have your followers follow something that they fear. Now, if you believe that, and you believe that because you want your people to stay good and not do bad things, then that's great, but I don't believe in it, and so I'm not going to touch on it anymore because I don't want to offend anybody, but I just don't believe in that. Now, in regards to people who do really horrific things, and I'm saying that they don't go to hell, that's a whole nother subject matter, because suicide to me is not comparable to someone who murders or rapes or does something like that. So let's just drop that subject, because I'm going to get heated and start to ramble, and I want to get to the point of this video. So besides hell and purgatory, when someone dies, sometimes they're immediately here and around you. And the reason why a lot of people say, oh, I don't know, I don't feel them around me, or why doesn't he come around me, and I miss him or her, or whatever. Everyone grieves a different way. Everyone's time for grieving is different, the length. I'm going to tell you right now that most of the people that complain about that when they come for a reading with me are so angry and mad at the person that killed themselves that grief is clouding completely over their spiritual side and their spirit to be able to even hear if someone came around. I have a friend that I'm very close to that was pissed off at our friend for killing himself and was angry and kept telling me, no, but I'm not that angry anymore. Why doesn't he show himself to me? Shit, let me just tell you, son, he was constantly around me, but he wasn't around his other friend because he was around him. He cannot see him because he's so clouded with the anger for leaving him and this, that, and the other thing. That's what people do. They get angry at the person for leaving and they get wrapped up in that energy and they don't release it and they carry it on from a month to a year to 2 years to 3 years and wonder why they can't feel their sister, brother, mother, father, whoever it is that killed themselves. Also, too, they feel horrible that they did it, but they can't go back and change it. So they don't carry those hang-ups like we do. Okay. So I hope that answered questions about purgatory and hell. I can go in a little more detail if you'd like about what I believe heaven is and stuff, but I lead a different path now. I'm not Roman Catholic. I do believe there's Jesus, and I do believe that there's a God, but I also believe in other gods in the pantheon way. And so that's a little bit different, and I'm also just very open-minded about that, only because of the things spirits have showed me on the other side. So I'm sorry, but I just don't believe in a burning hell with demons and little, imps and different things with a pitchfork and kind of like the little Adam Sandler silly movie that I think is so funny. I don't believe in that. And I also feel personally, and this is just a whole nother subject matter, and I'm not going to get into it, but I also think that the deities and Satan and all that get a really bad rap because it's really old religion, and has nothing to do with the fire and brimstone. That's my opinion. Everybody has a reason to believe in what they believe, but that's my opinion with my communication on the other side. So I hope that helped everybody. part 3 is coming up next. I'm going to talk about dreams and when people die, how they communicate with you, and what you can do to let go of that grief if you want. And if you're interested in that being part 3, just comment below this video. Thanks.